Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
Yep. It's me. Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. We're delighted you're here. And we're broadcasting 2 hours from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. If you'd like to call us, we'll pay for the call. 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. John's engineering the broadcast in Minnesota. And with us for hour number one is David Klotz. Welcome, David Klotz.
Well, hello, Jim. Vincent, how are you today?
I'm really well, Dave. You and I have worked on some projects before, and both of us used to have jobs. I mean, both of us used to, we'd get up in the morning and we'd have breakfast and we'd get in our vehicles and we'd go down to the corner and make a left and, head on to that corporate America job. Both of us, Fortune 100 jobs, both of us, proud of what we're doing. And now neither one of us has a job, and both of us are delighted, right?
That's true, but we kind of ought to back up. I mean, one of the reasons that both of us lost our last job was in part to radio interviews that you and I had done. We're not going to get big into that. We decided to downshift and take a little different course of direction in this interview than we had originally planned. But, the truth of the matter is, when you stand up to try to speak truth to power or try to represent the interest of local people, the interest of the underdog, you do get attacked, and it is very costly. And I know you have paid personally, as you know I have, and I just got to tell all the class out there that Vincent Finelli is an incredible man, and I am very honored to know you, and that you keep going despite the pushback that you've encountered, despite the cost that you've had to endure. Man, that's just a testament to your heart, and I hope people really appreciate and understand that.
Well, David, I don't know if it's a testament to my heart. Maybe it's a testament to me. I was just thinking that maybe I don't understand. I mean,
maybe you're kind of slow on the uptake, huh?
Hey, David, seriously, when I worked for a radio station, and I didn't work for them, I just broadcasted there. I got called into the front office, and they said, "Hey, Vinny, you're doing really well. They love you. We love you. They love you. We love you. Hey, listen, I'll tell you what, your show would even grow more if you didn't talk about these couple of things. They love you. We love you." And, I thought, David Klotz, I thought that was a suggestion.
You didn't realize what they were telling you. Yeah, I know.
That's what I mean. Maybe I don't. Yeah, maybe I just.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Maybe I just don't understand, and that's what I meant. But yeah, we've had both of us in our lives have had subtle suggestions, and we take the path of honesty and integrity and truth, and I'll tell you what, there's a big sledgehammer sometimes that hits you. They call it a velvet hammer, but I've been hit with something bigger than a velvet hammer, and I know you have too. But here's the whole point. So you used to have a job, I used to have a job. Well, I had multiple jobs, and Here's what's really interesting about your story. And your story is, forget why you don't have a job, but what you've done is you have picked up the pieces and you've started your own company. And I'd like to share a little bit of that story with our class, and I'll tell you why. David, many of us used to have jobs. Okay? Many of us used to get up in the morning and we'd, drive to the traffic light and we'd make a turn and we'd see some of the same people, week after week after week. They did it. We did it. Now, now some of us have become second class citizens because we don't get up and drive to that same traffic light and make that same turn and go to that same job. And when that first happens to us, we feel that we have become a second class citizen because we just don't have that status of having, a job description, a job title anymore. So, people say, what do I do?
And it goes a little further than that because when you do the kind of things that both you and I have done politically, you get blacklisted. That's a real thing. And so it's not like I don't have a job by choice because of those things that I have done, and I have only spoken the truth with the opportunities that were presented and fought for what I believed in. But the ultimate cost of that is that you are blacklisted from a large swath of employment opportunities out there because more and more, all you see are the large corporate players dominating these local economies. And so if you get on their bad side, you get on one of their bad sides, you're on all their bad sides, and they do come after you for it. So yes,
and
it's been a joy because what I'm doing now is restoring John Deere tractors with my father. We go buy them from around the country, bring them back to our first-class shop. We don't believe in suffering at the Klotz shop. We have air conditioning and heating and all the creature comforts you could want, but we turn out beautiful tractors and then sell them to happy customers. So you can rise from the ashes, but you're going to pay a price whenever you fight for what you believe in.
So I was sitting in the kitchen last night and I was looking for a tractor. I've decided that I absolutely positively cannot be without a backup tractor because, we have this very short hay season. The weather has been engineered to the point where if something goes wrong with our equipment, we only have a 3-day window to raise enough hay for an entire year for our cows. If we miss that window, I'm out of business. I mean, I could lose everything, and I'm not willing to put our livelihood at risk. So I'm duplicating some of the equipment, which is kind of crazy in a lot of ways of thinking because there used to be a supply chain where you could get parts right away. Well, that is no longer the case. So you have to have spare. Yeah, you have to have spare equipment at the ready. And so I was on Craigslist, and there it was. So I saw these really good-looking John Deere tractors. And it had Klotz, Klotz inventory. So it's your stuff and your equipment, your inventory. And by the way, it looks good. And I like the quality and the type of tractors that you are refinishing, repairing, and offering for public purchase. So I just want to say I'm impressed. Good quality stuff.
Well, we love it. We love doing it, and it's really been a blessing. Just a short story. My father and I kind of had a strained relationship for many years. I will own responsibility for that. As a young man, you kind of get stubborn and try to go your own way. And so this has really been an opportunity for us to rekindle the relationship that we should always have had, and to be able to work with my father, who is an expert at this. He has 65 years mechanic experience. His father before him had 70 years. So it's not like it's all on me. I have a limited job. My job is to do the body work, and then I market the product once it's finished. But Dad is the one who you can put your faith in because he goes through it mechanically and makes sure everything is working like new again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, it's great. It's great to see these vintage, if you will. The tractor that I use for baling hay, the one that has enough power to do the job, is a John Deere model 2950. It's sometimes it's called 100 horsepower, sometimes it's called 85, depending on where you measure the horsepower.
I've got one in my shop right now.
It's an awesome tractor. It's made in Mannheim, Germany. So I would consider this a Mercedes-Benz of tractors. I really would. It's painted green with yellow trim, and it's really an awesome vehicle. Tractor, I mean. But here's something interesting about these good quality pieces of hardware and tools and equipment. They go up in price. It's worth more now.
And they last, and they work when you need them to, and they don't break down as often.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. The supply chain has pretty much been perverted for most parts anymore. It's hard to really obtain anything that is quality unless you're shopping from quality merchandise. So you can't really find adequate parts for so many product lines out there in the tractor business, but John Deere is still producing quality parts that you can obtain, that you can trust, you can rely on, and when you fix the tractor, you know it's going to work. And rather than break down halfway through trying to bale your hay, which happens way too often to too many people. So
yeah,
it's a delight to me to be able to sell a tractor that I have confidence in, that I know is going to work for the farmer, that looks beautiful, and you know that we take a lot of pride in. It's really been a blessing to my heart.
Let's talk
kind of more than a business. More than a business,
Yeah.
has kind of become a passion and a love.
Right. And that's what farming is to us here at the Finelli farm.
Well, sure, you better love it, because a lot of times you're not going to do so well at it. It's a year-to-year kind of thing, farming is.
Yeah, it is. And David, I have noticed that the price of equipment is skyrocketing lately. And I'm talking about a lot of different equipment. Let me give you an example. I wanted to buy a lathe. Why would I want to buy a lathe? So I could make the parts, a metal lathe, so I could make the parts should they fail. I could make axles and I could make bushings and all kinds of parts here at the farm should I need to. And I don't want to be shut down as a business by the supply chain. Well, I found out that, I could have bought a lathe a year ago for about $1,000. The same lathe today is about $2,000. And I'm noticing that good quality parts of yesteryear, vintage parts, vintage equipment, vintage machines just keep going up in price. I don't see any.
The quality of so much of the new stuff is just not there. So, wouldn't you rather buy something that you have confidence in, that was built right in that time, rather than something that rolls off some Chinese factory and is not going to work for you? So I think that's why old equipment prices are exploding. I've really seen it in John Deere, because people can have confidence in it. They can buy it and they know it's going to work. They know it's going to work for them, as opposed to just wasting their money on something that they're not going to be able to find parts for, is not going to do the job for them. And maybe they think they're saving money initially because they're a little cheaper than the higher end products are, but the long-term cost of trying to save that dollar is going to cost you a lot more. So, I think there's a reason prices are exploding. And beyond that, look at prices across the board. Go try to buy a steak at the grocery store. To me, what we're seeing is the erosion of the value of the dollar in a lot of this. Of course, they have ways of hiding it, but our dollar is becoming more and more worthless, and as it does, prices are only going to go up across the board.
David Klotz is with us. We'll be right back right after these few short commercial announcements. I'm Vincent Finelli. This is USAPrepares.com.
Do good people ever want to call an attorney just to find out if they're right or wrong? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what are you forced to think about first? Money. If you could call as often as you wanted and talk as long as you need without a bill, would you call? Worry less and live more with lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com, or call 855-340-SAVE. That's 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
Hey, Berkey Guy here. Are you still drinking unfiltered tap water? Does your water contain chlorine or fluoride? Will you have drinkable water in an emergency? The Berkey Guy is here to help you remove these and other potential contaminants from your water, thus helping you drink clean, purified water. We offer Berkey water purification systems at the lowest available prices online. Don't go another moment without Berkey system. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands drink clean, purified water. Join them by visiting goberkey.com or call me, the Berkey Guy, at 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653.
By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Why do over 50% of North Americans suffer from some form of chronic ailment? Could it be due to a toxic overload? It's time to take back your life. Get the lead out as well as the cadmium, mercury, and calcium. Extendovite is a garlic cayenne supplement with 5 other herbs that acts like a natural Drano, cleaning out the stored toxins, restoring your energy and youthfulness that we've lost. If you would like to live your life free of sickness, pain, or fear, then Extendovite is for you. Available in either capsules or liquid, you too can see why Extendovite is the #1 heart drop available. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
More and more people are discovering the incredible benefits of alkalizing the body, and there's no better product for it than AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops. Packed with a powerful combination of the most alkaline minerals and compounds, just a few drops in water will rid your body of harmful waste and give you more vibrance and vigor than you've had in years. Now buy 2 bottles and get $10 off your order. Call 800-518-7615 or visit alkavision.com. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com.
Have you ever wondered if you could make electric, light, or heat in your home for free? How about a motor that charges batteries at the same time? What if this also restores useless batteries and saves you lots of money? Come to our Renaissance Charge Conference workshop on August 15th and 16th in Fort Lauderdale. Visit r-charge.com. That's r-charge.com for details, or call 208-304-2954. 208-304-2954.
Class, I hope each and every one of you finds a friend, as I have, in John Regan. You know, John Regan sat in my seat for days so I could attend to farming. And the farming is what allows me to broadcast. So thank you so much, John Regan, for holding down the fort this week and all the previous weeks. And by the way, I'll be speaking at an event this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, at the RK Prepper Show at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds in Springfield, Missouri. Ozark Empire Fairgrounds, that's Saturday and Sunday. It's the RK Prepper Show, and I'll be speaking about how you can use tax deductions to pay less to the federales and the state guys. And so you can use that money to buy preparedness items. I'm going to teach you how to start your own business, and any kind of business. This isn't multi-level marketing where, you know, you're going to be roped into selling pots and pans or something like that. It's not like that. Any business you want, you pick the business, and we'll teach you how. And we'll give you some thoughts on how you can start for virtually $0 and just start bringing in those tax deductions and have the time of your life. I'm going to teach you how to do that Saturday and Sunday at the RK Prepper Show. Then that's Saturday. Then Sunday, I'm going to teach you about the big lies, and I'm going to draw the connections so you can see the dots and see how you're being lied to and how you need to figure out for yourself what's really happening. So we're going to have 2 great seminars, and then Judy Dollarhead's going to be there, and she's going to be offering our inventory, USA Prepares Pro Pure inventory at the same price as everybody else, except she's going to give you an instant rebate, which is going to make it lower than everybody else. Never has anyone ever beaten our price, ever. That's at the RK Prepper Show. And let's see, Craig Douglas will be there, and Storm and Norman Cantwell will be there, and John Moore will be there. It'll be a great, great time. We'll see you there. Robert in Minnesota, you're on the air with David Klotz and me, Vince Finelli. Welcome.
Hello, Mr. Finelli. I finally actually get to speak to you.
Please call me Vincent.
Okay, Vincent. I'm going to start this out with a comment. Back in January, and of course, I know you got a lot on your plate, and you look at things very similar to what I do. Of course, I'm not radio syndicated or anything like that. So back in January, you had made a comment that you had said your Facebook list is filling up fast, and anybody that wants to be your friend on Facebook, please send a request. I did that in January, and you haven't looked at your Facebook in a long time. I've sent you a few messages on there, and I've never got a response.
Wow, isn't that amazing? Hey, well, I'll tell you what. I get. Let me go over there right now. Let me see how many Facebook friends we have. I'm going there as we speak. Okay, we have 4,901, and I get all kinds of Facebook requests, but I guess maybe I didn't recognize you, so maybe I didn't respond.
Well, no, you don't. No, you don't know me from Adam, sir. Honestly, but I can tell you
we're
like
friends,
this.
huh?
I'll tell you like this. I listened. I don't want to bring any names into this conversation because of liable. Okay, but I'll say like this: you're the real deal. There's not too many people out there that do what you do and report the truth. Okay, they're in it for money. I see a lot of things, and one of them per se is a fear monger. And of course, when we're in fear, we can't think properly, and you tend to react more than think through a situation. So I appreciate your show very much. I've been following you now for almost a year. I wish it was longer, but I've only been recently awakened. I'd say about 2 years. So I've been looking into some things. The main reason I'm calling you is to ask you where you are in relation to Jefferson City.
I'm 110 miles south.
Okay, 110 miles south.
Yeah, a bunch of us went to Jefferson City a few years ago, and we brought pitchforks. That's the capital of the state of Missouri.
Well, okay, all right. Well, I unfortunately am the guy that gets in the car every morning and drives down the street and takes the left at the red light and drives 23 miles one way to go to a job because out here it's very desolate. It's in the middle of nowhere. So I can't go to Texas this year. I had planned on going to Texas, and I couldn't go to Texas because my job told me that we have to go back to work. And to go see a 94-year-old grandfather that probably is not going to see another year, I'm not allowed to do that. So
I've got a comment about that. When we get back. Now, you want to hold the line, Robert?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Hold the line. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit guns80.com, guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
All loans subject to one-deck score approval must be in business at least 1 year to apply. Attention small business owners needing financing. Are you too busy running your business to deal with the slow lending process of your bank? Are you frustrated at the paperwork and delays just trying to get a decision? Then you need On Deck, the A+ Better Business Bureau rated small business experts, where our simple application process takes as little as 10 minutes and funding could be available in just 1 business day. At On Deck, we focus on your business operation and cash flow, not just your personal credit score. And we're ready to help with loans of up to $250,000. True business business loans, not credit card advances. On Deck provides financing to a wide variety of small businesses like restaurants, plumbing, landscaping, freight trucking, and healthcare providers. If you're frustrated with the paperwork and long decision times of traditional lenders, contact On Deck. Funding could be available in just one business day. On Deck is publicly listed on the New York Stock Exchange and has provided over $2 billion to small businesses like yours. So go to OnDeckLending.com today or call 800-293-6819. That's 800-293-6819.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today. Class, we're back, and Robert is with us on the telephone from Minnesota. David Klotz is with us, and David Klotz just mentioned that, at the beginning of the broadcast, he has the opportunity to work with his father. Great relationship. Spends time with his dad. What's better than that, right? In a business, and he's earning a livelihood, and he's doing what he loves. And Robert, you mentioned that you have a family member, 94 years old, in Texas, and because of your job, you can't get to spend time with him during what may be his last year. Very quickly, let me tell you that back in the 80s, I had a job, and I worked for a very large bank, one of the largest banks in the country. And I was paid, as well as most people who work for this particular bank, about 25% more than our peers at J.P. Morgan, Chase Manhattan, First Chicago, American Express, Discover. We were paid more. We were selected because of our specific talents and our drive and our abilities. And so it was a really kind of neat thing. If you work for this particular bank, you could pat yourself on the back all the way to work, and you felt really good. Well, one day I was introduced to my new boss. I inherited a new boss. And he said to me, "Vincent, come on to my office. I want to talk to you. I want to meet you." So he sat down behind his desk, and I stood, and he didn't invite me to sit down. So I stood there, and he had his yellow pad out, and he said, "Vincent, tell me about yourself." And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He said, "Well, tell me about yourself." And I said, "Well, you mean my education, what I do here at the bank, things I like, things I don't like, hobbies, interests? What do you mean?" He said, "Tell me about yourself." I said, "Well, I don't like it when people tell me what to do." Okay. So we hit it off really poorly. And then within a couple days, I was at a meeting, and it was at 6:00 at night with my team, my advanced technology team. And he said to me, "Vincent, I need charts and graphs for the president. How many transactions we do per second, how many records in the databases, and, for the president. I need that for tomorrow morning." And I said, "Well, that's fine. That's fine. I can do that. But right now, my son was admitted to the hospital this morning and he had surgery and I need to see him before visiting hours. So, I'm going to go see him and I'll be back and you'll have your charts and graphs in the morning. And he said, I need those charts and graphs and I need you to work on it. Like right now. I said, oh, okay. Okay. I got it. So I went to my office. Now I was an officer of this corporation. I went to my office and, I got all my things and I left. That was the last time they ever saw me. So here's the point. And it's actually a true story. Actually true. And I got a call next morning, 10 o'clock. It's like I should have been there at maybe 7:30. And this guy said, hey, are you okay? I said, sure, I'm fine. He said, you're not here. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm home. Are you coming in? I don't think so. What? You're not coming in? No, because I had a nice chat with the boss last night, and he and I agree that we don't agree. So no, I'm not coming in. And they said, well, wait, you just can't quit. You're an officer. And I said, well, yeah, I did. And they said, well, look, how about we'll get you another job? We'll have you report to somebody else. And I said, I don't think so because I'll see him in the in the hall and stuff, and in the dining room, and nah. I'm not going to do it. They couldn't believe it. I was the first officer to ever quit. Now, here's the whole point of this. You don't have to take it. Now, there are consequences, but, you can say, look, there's a person in my life that's very, very important to me. I need 4 days. I need to go see this person, and then I'll be back. What do you think? And if they say no, you can say, okay, well, up until now, I used to like working here. Or you can just put up with it. You do have a choice.
Doesn't it seem like that corporate America has reduced people into property? Now we're human resources for corporations. Corporations are actually considered people under the law. And so,
exactly right.
It's becoming more and more inhumane while they pursue profits at the expense of people. And I don't know where this ultimately goes. I fear for the future of the next generation. What are they going to have to endure? So it's tragic to watch all this go down. It just seems to keep accelerating year after year.
David, you used the absolutely perfect terminology, human resources, and that's what they call those departments. I used to refer to HR or human resources department as human research. And I'd say, you guys in human research, and they'd look at me, no, you don't get it. Human resources. And I'd say, I don't think so. I think you guys are researching just how far you can push the little people. You're doing experiments on us. See how far you can push us before we either quit or give up or submit.
And as they further dominate the economies, especially in rural areas like you and I live, there's fewer and fewer opportunities for people to stand up for themselves or even try to do anything about it. So, our economies are now dominated by these corporate players who are only in pursuit of their own profits and could care less about the individual. We are just property to be used to obtain further profits.
I got one for you. Now that you're saying this, and this is not the reason why I'm calling, but your story just inspired me to tell you about. We have this thing in our company. We have a lot of contracts with the military. I don't necessarily want to say where I work per se. I mean, when they say to me, "Oh, don't worry about that defect in the part because that part is going to be filled with bullets anyway." Okay, so I'll just leave it at that. But I was in a roundtable meeting with a gentleman that made $41 million bonus check. Okay, that was his bonus check. His bonus check was larger than the entire corporation, every single employee there's bonus check. Okay, now we're in this meeting. This company opened up a company down in Mexico. So my boss said to me, I want you to go to this meeting because you're the guy that asked the big questions. And I looked at him and I said, I don't ask the big questions. I just have the balls to ask the right questions. Okay, so they put me in this meeting with these hobnobbers, all this gold and fancy watches and $5,000 suits and whatever. So I'm sitting there and I have a list of questions from the employees on the floor. And the first question was mine. And my question was, how many Mexicans can you employ to the salary of one American? Now, they just stopped, and they all looked at me, and the one guy whispered in the other guy's ear, and he said, "We're not really sure about that, but we think it's 5-1." All right. So now you can say what you want, but they're outsourcing our jobs. They just fast-tracked the TPP. Okay, it's absolute treason to the American people. What they're doing.
But it's gone on so long, Robert. You know, this has gone on since the early '90s at least. I've watched it happen in my adult lifetime. We determined we weren't going to name names here, but there was a president elected early '90s who signed NAFTA, GATT, WTO, normalized trade with communist China, which at the time was considered treason. You know, we did not support the enemies of liberty in the world. We tried to invest in our own economy, our own infrastructure, our own people. That changed somewhere in the late '80s, early '90s, and since then it has just been full speed ahead down this road to maximize profits for people who consider themselves multinationals. They actually consider they stand above America, you know, and so that's I don't know where this ends until people can finally get the fortitude, like you did, to stand up and try to point out actually what's going on, and that you're subverting our own people just to make more money, and many times financing enemies of liberty in the world. Look, check out the Chinese PLA today. In '92, they were almost at zero capacity. Today, they can challenge America in the South China Sea, so they think. You know, we paid for that. Everybody who carries their money down buys made in China. They pay for that, and it's gone on for decades. They emptied our towns of factories, of living wage jobs, and replaced it, you know, with the human resource economy. So it's very discouraging, but I can't do anything but fight against it.
Well, I want to ask you both a question. You're both a little bit older than me. No offense. You're both a little bit older than me. I'm 44. Okay. When you bring stuff like this up to people that don't know, I mean, like, people think I'm crazy. People think I'm absolutely insane. When I talk about different things and I point different things out to people, like this whole Confederate flag business, okay? Oh, it's racist. It's this, it's that. No, it's not racist. The Confederate States seceded from the Union because they were sick of the garbage that was going on. I have to watch my language. I forgot I'm on the radio.
Yeah, you have Robert, you absolutely have to watch your language.
Okay, yes, sir. So it goes like this. I mean, and people literally think, I've been called a terrorist, I've been called a racist, I've been called a sexist, a bigot, okay, and just because I disagree with what's going on. And unfortunately, for these people, when it comes down, and it's going to come down, the hammer is going to come down, and we all know that. I'm not going to help them. I'm going to turn my back and I'm going to walk away. And I mean, for instance, I had a gentleman one time, very intoxicated, threaten me on the telephone and said he's going to kick in my front door and he's going to come get me. Now this is a big guy. He's really big, okay? And I said, listen, the lock on my front door is for your protection. It's not for mine. And if you come into my home and you threaten me or my family, you're dead. And that's just a simple fact, okay? I never take the offensive. But if the offensive comes to me, then they get it back, and they get what for. And that's the way it is. But, gentlemen, the reason I called, this article is from www.consciouslyenlighted.com. Hiker stumbles across United Nations base. Okay, this is just 600 feet from the Jefferson City Airport. Okay, there used to be a golf course there. And there is no golf course there now. There is United Nations vehicles, including tanks, Mercedes vans and Mercedes cars with no license plates, with UN stickers on it, and there's a bunch of them. This guy's estimate is like 5,000. Okay, now I'm not sure if that's correct, and I'm not sure if this is just a spoof. But since you're in that neck of the woods, maybe one of you guys, you're 120 miles south. That's a 2-hour drive. Maybe one of you guys can just go up there and take a peek. Because I can tell you right now, what I'm looking at, American soldiers will not fire, hopefully, on American citizens. But what about United Nations soldiers? That's my question.
Robert, hold that thought. Hold that thought. I will post this article. I'm there right now. And if anyone has information, we'll discuss it on the air. Robert, thanks so much for your call.
Did you know that drinking pure, high alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
It's very easy to be a criminal. All you need to burglarize a home is one simple household tool, a pair of scissors. If your home security system can be compromised by a criminal using scissors, then you're making it easy for them. Almost every home security system, even those sold by big-name companies, has a weakness. The phone line. You shell out $1,500, get locked into a long-term contract, and think you're safe. But a burglar can destroy your alarm in seconds with one snip. And when a burglar cuts your phone line, you're defenseless. Simply Safe Home Security is the smarter choice. Built by Harvard engineers, Simply Safe uses a wireless connection to call the cops. Scissors can't cut it, and that means your home stays safe. 24/7 professional monitoring is under $15 a month with no contract. Simply Safe Home Security keeps you safer than the other guys for half the cost. Protect your home with the alarm you can trust. Simply Safe. Go to simplysafedefense.com now for an exclusive 10% offer. That's simplysafedefense.com.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average over 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
Hi, John Hubner from Midas Resources. Are you tired of watching your hard-earned assets dwindle away? As government spending is out of hand and the Federal Reserve is creating in excess of $20 billion a week, are you tired of stockbrokers gambling away your hard-earned money? Is this market a setup for a crash greater than 1987? Too many of today's policies resemble those that led to the collapse of 1929. This is John Hubner, and that was me in 2007. And we all know what happened when the subprime credit bubble burst. By March 2009, the dollar lost 50% of its value. The entire U.S. banking system was on the verge of collapsing. Like all financial problems of the past, is history about to repeat itself? Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129, before it's too late to protect yourself. Will the oncoming catastrophe take all private IRAs, 401ks with it? There is a way to protect your hard-earned assets. Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129.
Class David Klotz is with us, and we're talking about America, and we're talking about some changes, and we're talking about, getting control of our own lives and saying no to the big machine. And I just posted the article about hiker stumbles across United Nations base camp hidden in plain sight in the middle of America, just outside of Jefferson City, Missouri. I've been there. I've been to events there. I've been to the Capitol, and there's a lot of land out there, a lot of land, and there's a lot of wide open spaces. So if any of you have seen this camp that was referred to minutes ago in this broadcast, please let me know. Vincent at usaprepares.com. Vincent at usaprepares.com. David Klotz, we want to talk about just taking control of our lives and saying no to the machine. And you've said no. You said no, and you started this company. Do you have advice for others who might be in a similar situation, those who may have been thrown overboard by their company?
Yes, sir. And what I want to do is really open this up even a little bit further. My girlfriend and I, the love of my life, lived in Springfield, Missouri. And I was able to have an instrumental role in starting an organization which tied up the world's largest, richest corporation in pursuing their agenda that would have harmed downtown further. We tied them up for 2 years, ultimately went to the Missouri Supreme Court. We've seen so many legal shenanigans and games, and in the end, we lost. They have now, they're going to pursue their own agenda. This company has 55% of the grocery share in the city. I don't know at what point a monopoly is, but I guess Springfield doesn't think they're there yet. So, and after that effort, we decided that we were going to come home to our hometown where neither one of us had lived since we were teenagers. It's a rural community. I think it's like 1,700 people that's been afflicted by the same disease that has afflicted so many other rural economies and left downtown in shambles, local businesses poor, 25% poverty in our county. Median income is $15,000 a year. If you can find a job, it's part-time minimum wage. The economy's just been destroyed by these large global players, and for everybody, especially the small people. And so I had a real burden for my hometown's downtown when we came back, and we were taking a walk down our main street. Had an old high school friend who had a barber shop who hollered out the door and said, "Hey, Dave, get in here and let me fix your haircut." So I did. I went in there, and he and I started having a conversation. And directly across from his barber shop is a little park where they had put a pavilion up, a covered pavilion, and it was barely being used. It was being used for the farmers market, things like that, but nothing else really going on. So he and I were kind of brainstorming and decided, hey, let's try throwing street dances. And so we did. Our first street dance was a huge success. We've had 15 since then. We brought a midway in for 3-day downtown carnivals twice now. We called it Brushy Creek Days. We've been able to bring thousands of people into our old dead downtown to try to support our locally owned businesses. And we invite all of our locally owned businesses from the area to come in and be a part of it. It's something that there is something you can do, but you can't do it if you don't do it. And so it's taken a lot of work. It's been a lot of expense to us personally. We've had a lot of help from local businesses, banks who get what we're trying to do. It's not that people don't understand that we need to support our local business, that we need to develop a downtown dream, continue to reinvest in our community. So much of the time it's that they're too busy to tackle the problem. And so really what you have to do now is be willing to sacrifice. You have to think outside the box, and you have to do things which appeal to people to try to bring them back into those areas of town that have been forgotten and left aside for the last few decades.
David, I approached the Industrial Development Authority in our little county here, and they laughed at me. I said many, many years ago, look, the economy is going to collapse. We're in a lot of trouble. And they laughed at me. So the bottom line is, can you work with the government? The answer is probably not. So just do it yourselves. Don't wait for them to give you permission. Just start doing it. Work with your family, your friends, your community, and take back your local commerce. Seriously. And try, if you can, to support the local guys. Try to support the these small auto parts stores and the small hardware stores. Give them your business. And you know what? It doesn't cost more. It really doesn't. That's what I found. David Klotz, thanks so much for being with us here at USA
Thanks
Preparedness.
for having me, Vince. God bless you, brother.
God bless you. We'll be right back after top of the hour news and commercial announcements.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number. Call 1-888-379-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So, disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-888-379-MY-TV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-888-379-MY-TV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-888-379-MY-TV. 1-888-379-MY-TV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-888-379-MY-TV. 1-888-379-MY-TV.
Hey, Berkey Guy here. Are you still drinking unfiltered tap water? Does your water contain chlorine or fluoride? Will you have drinkable water in an emergency? The Berkey Guy is here to help you remove these and other potential contaminants from your water, thus helping you drink clean, purified water. We offer Berkey water purification systems at the lowest available prices online. Don't go another moment without Berkey system. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands drink clean, purified water. Join them by visiting goberkey.com or call me, the Berkey Guy, at 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653.
Have you ever wondered if you could make electric, light, or heat in your home for free? How about a motor that charges batteries at the same time? What if this also restores useless batteries and saves you lots of money? Come to our Renaissance Charge Conference workshop on August 15th and 16th in Fort Lauderdale. Visit r-charge.com. That's r-charge.com for details, or call 208-304-2954. 208-304-2954.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked. Here we go. Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com. This hour, we're going to talk about improving your sleep. Improving your sleep. Seriously. We're going to tell you how to do it. We're going to tell you why it's tough to sleep. We're going to tell you why so many people have sleep disorders. And we believe we can fix a bunch of them. With us today, Katie Singer. She's the author of An Electronic Silent Spring. Welcome, Katie Singer.
Vincent. I'm glad to be here. I am.
I'm so glad you're glad to be here. And Larry Gust. Larry Gust is a new USAPrepares.com instructor. He's an electrical engineer. And he's been studying biology and building environments. As a matter of fact, he's a certified building biology environmental consultant. What does that mean? So let's say you have a mold problem. Let's say you have electromagnetic radiation problem. He's been studying it and helping people for 23 years. Your newest instructor, Larry Gust, electrical engineer, GustEnviro.com, GustEnviro.com, GustEnviro.com. Welcome, Larry. Yeah. Did we lose Larry?
Nope, I'm here.
Oh, great. Great. Okay. So, Larry, I just introduced you, and you've been studying building biology environments for 23 years. You've been helping people. So we're going to be talking about sleep. So, Katie, we've called this, and Larry, we've called this how to improve your sleep because people have sleeping problems. And I'm concerned about electromagnetic radiation in the home. And of course, you know, class, that I've dumped my cell phone. I don't want my head, we'll call it microwaved by the cell phone. I've replaced, or I bought a 1970s model gas stove because I don't want Mrs. Finelli subjected to any more electromagnetic radiation than she needs to be. I mean, we want to eliminate that. And I'm looking to reduce electromagnetic radiation exposure everywhere we can. As a matter of fact, the next thing I'm looking at is replacing the part of the heating system that has a circulator motor with baseboard radiators, because there's no electric energy involved in circulating the air around them. I want just everywhere we can to reduce the electromagnetic radiation. So, Katie, where would you want to start if you were reducing electromagnetic radiation in the home?
In the bedroom, because we're talking about sleep today. I want to start with a story that I heard about from a pediatrician in the Bay Area. And because she's a pediatrician, she's got an increasing number of children in her care who have autism or ADHD. And she developed a protocol, and it's free. And here's the whole recipe. You turn your Wi-Fi off at night for at least 12 hours. You don't let the child within 8 feet of any kind of mobile device, like no cordless telephone, no cell phone. And then you turn electricity off at the breaker box to the child's bedroom while the child is sleeping. And those 3 things: no Wi-Fi for 12 hours at night, no cordless or wireless exposure to the child, and cut the electricity to the bedroom while sleeping from the breaker box. And she had a family on a military base, and so she figured the background radiation was going to be so strong that the protocol wouldn't make a difference. This child had never uttered a word, and he was 10 years old. He was really aggressive. He screamed every night from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. You can imagine people were not sleeping. And within 3 days, all they did was turn off their Wi-Fi. And within 3 days, this boy spoke a complete sentence. The family was really motivated, and so they kept reducing their exposure, and the doctor put the boy on a therapeutic-grade fish oil, and within 3 weeks, he slept through the night, and so did the whole family. That protocol is in my report called Calming Behavior in Children with Autism and ADHD on my website, electronicsilencespring.com. And I love that story because you don't need autism to try it. You just need motivation to say, okay, I want to see if my sleep's going to improve. We're not saying that EMR exposure causes autism, but we are saying that it's worth experimenting, and it doesn't cost you anything to turn off your Wi-Fi at night and see if your sleep or other parts of your health improve.
Well, that's not a story that's not parroted elsewhere. I had a client a couple of years ago with an autistic boy, which had the similar result, turning off the Wi-Fi and turning off the electric fields in the bedroom by turning off the breakers, as you mentioned, Katie. So the interesting thing with that boy is he had very high heavy metals, which I guess is something that's common with autistic children. And he was unable to get rid of those. They had tried all kinds of, the doctors had tried all kinds of protocols for him to help him dump the heavy metals, and it didn't work. And the minute the changes were made to reduce the electromagnetic radiation, he began dumping out these heavy metals from his body. And strangely enough, his sister, who wasn't autistic, had the same thing happen.
Yeah. Hey, Larry, can you speak up just a little bit, please?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm a little bit weak.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that's better.
Okay. All right, good. So the the sister wasn't autistic, but she also had heavy metal poisoning and wasn't able to dump until the electromagnetic fields were reduced. So it really has profound effects on people, particularly autistic children.
Do you know what they did besides eliminate their Wi-Fi at night?
Wi-Fi, turn off the electric fields in the bedrooms, and fix a problem with the wiring which caused high magnetic field in the child's bedroom. So those were the three things.
I have a question. Larry, can you tell us the difference between electric fields and magnetic fields?
Yeah,
you said one time that people are familiar with magnetic fields, but not so much with electric fields, and I'm on the page of needing to learn that.
Yes, well, all the research has been done around magnetic fields for probably 30, 40 years, and I don't know why that is, but that's the way it turned out. When you have current flow in a wire, you have a magnetic field that's around the wire. When you have one of those little black boxes that you use to charge, like your cell phone or another piece of electronic equipment, you have a magnetic field that surrounds that, and it's pretty intense. So those are magnetic fields. They come from current flowing in devices to power them. The second, energy you talked about, Katie, was electric fields. And electric fields, let me just back up for a second on the magnetic field. People can visualize the magnetic fields as concentric rings that surround a wire, and they move. As the rings move out from the wire, they get weaker, or the field gets weaker and weaker and weaker. For an electric field, that exists because the wiring in a house is like energized to 120 volts. So if you stick your finger in an outlet, if you could, and you touch the hot wire, you would get a shock. Muscles would twitch and you'd jerk away. That voltage also generates this thing called an electric field, which is an energy that goes out into space, and you could visualize that as hairs coming off of the wires in your house and going out into space. And so that's an issue, because when those little hairs hit you, they generate a voltage on your body, which is a reflection of the 120 volt alternating voltage on our power lines, and it's something that we've never had in our bodies before. And as you
until we laid out the electric grid, you're saying?
That's right, till we energize houses. And this is what's all over your body at night when you sleep. You mentioned the bedroom. And we don't want those in our body because they're stressful, and the body can't go about its business of healing itself and repairing itself when it's subjected to these electric fields. And that's why the circuit breaker gets turned off. And when you turn the circuit breaker off for all the outlets around the room, and any outlets that might be on the other side of the wall or below the floor or above, depending on where the bedroom is, then you reduce electric fields, and that allows for much better sleep quality, Katie.
Larry, let's help our class with determining when they switch off the correct breaker. So many rooms in houses have circuits. Let's say there's bedroom number 1 and bedroom number 2 and bedroom number 3. Bedroom number 1 and 2 may have a common wall, and the circuit that supplies bedroom number 1 from the breaker panel the circuit may be the same for bedroom number 1 and bedroom number 2, depending on how the house is wired or the building's wired. Can you help us determine how we can figure out which circuit breakers are actually turning off the electricity at night in bedroom number 1, for example, and the lighting for bedroom number 1?
Sure, it's a two-person job. And when you mention lighting and outlets, I mean, this depends on how electricians wired the houses. In more modern houses, the outlets are in different circuits than the lights are. And the things that are closest to the bed are the circuits that we want to be concerned with. So I would plug a lamp, or if you wanted to plug a radio into the outlet that's around the bed there, and then you go down to the circuit breaker panel and you listen to see if the radio is playing, and then when you get to the correct breaker, the radio goes off, and you know it. And you go back up to the room with that breaker still off, and you plug in the radio into the other outlets that are around the bed. Let's say within 5, 6 feet of the bed, and you make sure those are all off. And then if there's a room on the other side of the wall that's close to the bed, then you go into that room and you plug into the breakers on that room, And if they're not off, you go back and you go through the process again until you have those off.
Yeah, and one of the reasons for doing all this, class, is, you may shut off all the outlets, in one room, bedroom number 1, but bedroom number 2 may have the outlets sharing the same common wall, and they may be energized, so you want to find that out. We'll be right back.
More and more people are discovering the incredible benefits of alkalizing the body, and there's no better product for it than AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops. Packed with a powerful combination of the most alkaline minerals and compounds, just a few drops in water will rid your body of harmful waste and give you more vibrance and vigor than you've had in years. Now buy 2 bottles and get $10 off your order. Call 800-518-7615 or visit alkavision.com. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com.
Genesis is defined as an origin, creation, or the beginning. Genesis Communications Network began with the mission of providing you with the kind of compelling content you're listening to now. And at GCNlive.com, you'll find a free archive of our nation's history, narrated by GCN hosts, explored, shared, and passed down to future generations. GCN is the future of talk radio, but we should always strive to learn from our past. Together, we are GCNlive.com. GCN.
How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Gold isn't for you? Ted Anderson, president of Midas Resources, one of the world's premier gold and precious metal investing firms. I get it. You wouldn't buy gold if you believed that the government is doing a great job, that the Fed will stop handing out trillions of dollars like bailout candy, that Social Security would be there for you. That's not what's happening. You might even pass on gold if the stimulus package wouldn't fuel inflation, or that the dollar wouldn't lose value, or that your retirement would be secure. If all looks rosy to you, then now is not the time to buy gold. For the realist, there have never been more sobering reasons to diversify with gold. Since 2001, the U.S. dollar index has tanked 30% while gold has risen 300%. Right now, savvy investors are adding gold to their portfolios. You should too. Find out what they know. Call us and I'll send you 10 reasons why gold will do very well, free. 800-686-2237. 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Hi, this is Larry Smith. Sometimes bad things happen to good people. When the cleaners ruined some special clothing, all they could do was show us a sign that said they weren't responsible. But when they got the letter from one of our Legal Shield attorneys, he promptly gave us a check for $1,152. Worry less and live more with lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com or call 855-340-SAVE. That's 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
We're talking about sleeping better. Larry Gust is with us. He's an electrical engineer. And his website, gustenviro.com. GUSTENVIRO.com. Katie Singer's with us. An electronic silent spring. And you can order her book on Amazon. She has many books. Amazon.com. This weekend, starting tomorrow, I'm going to be at the RK Prepper Show, Ozark Empire Fairgrounds, Saturday and Sunday. It's not our expo, it's the RK Prepper Show, and they've invited me to be a keynote speaker. So I'll be speaking on 2 topics. Saturday, I'll be telling you how you can do what I do. You can take the same tax deductions that the rich take. I'll teach you how you can buy preparedness items, start your own business, and live better by paying them less. That'd be the other team. We want to pay them less. That's the plan. And on Sunday, I'm going to be teaching you about the big lies. Huge lies. Huge lies that many of you believe. Probably half the people on the planet believe. I'm going to teach you why they're lies and how the other team is fostering and perpetuating these lies to keep you confused. And because of that, through extension, we'll teach you some other lies that are causing you to be sick, unhealthy, and what to do about it. So 2 seminars, and other USAPrepares.com instructors will be there. You'll see Judy Dollarheight. She'll have ProPure water filtration systems, our inventory, USA Prepares inventory, at the lowest price in the country. Absolutely, no question about it. Filters and filtration systems at the lowest price in the country. And other instructors will be there. Stormman Norman Cantwell. He'll be teaching you how to defend yourself and do the unthinkable if you have to. Craig Douglas will be there. John Moore will be there. And you'll meet many other USAPrepares.com instructors there. Saturday and Sunday, Springfield, Missouri, at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds. Link on the website, USAPrepares.com. So we've been talking about shutting off the power in the bedroom for the time that we're sleeping. Why? Because 1/3 of our lives is probably spent in the bedroom. Larry Gust, would you like to share some more about that?
Well, sure, Vincent. One of the things that just pops into my mind about the bedroom is the tendency for people to have beds that tilt up, tilt down, or vibrate, or have air in them because people have such difficulty sleeping. And the interesting thing about many of these beds is that if they're plugged in and the circuits are turned on, they have powerful magnetic and electric fields that they're making all of them by themselves, which puts you in an even worse situation than if you were in a regular bed. So a word of caution about those. And, of course, if you turn off the power, as we talked about in the previous segment, at night, then those things will be off and they will not be irradiating you like they are now.
Let me clarify that the magnetic fields and the electric fields that Larry Gust and Vincent are talking about are not found in nature. They're at amplitudes and frequencies that are not found in nature. And that disturbs our cellular lives, our own biology. That's why we want them shut off while we sleep.
Mm-hmm. Yes, good point. Let's bring up a very simple, common device that many people had. They were really popular in the 60s. You could have this blanket that would keep you warm. As a matter of fact, you could power this thing up. You could set it to number 4 or 5 or 6, 7, 8 or 9, and it would increase the amount of heat that it would provide. It was called an electric blanket. Larry, what do you think about sleeping under an electric blanket, 60 cycle AC?
Well, that's you hit it, Vincent. That and we could throw waterbed heaters in with that as well. They produce high magnetic fields, and they're very close to you, right on top of your body. So these things are so well linked and so high that I shudder to think that when I was a child, I slept under with an electric blanket in Wisconsin for many years. Fortunately, I got away with that because I was young. And also, the electric fields can be quite high from these blankets. When I say quite high, you could find, let's say, 20 volts on your body, 20 volts AC, which never was there before we electrified the country back in the 1900s, as well as magnetic fields that approach 20 milligauss, when in fact the normal background level of magnetic fields is 0.2. So that's 10 times higher.
I want to name a few other things to eliminate from the bedroom when we come back.
Good. And here goes some sponsors. Throwing overboard some sponsors. More sponsors. Katie Singer, Larry Gust, Vin Finelli. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com. and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Hi, this is Steve Sanchez, and based on a recent study, it was found that 57 million Americans had legal issues over the last 12 months, but only 60% of those studied sought out the services of a lawyer. Why? In a nutshell, affordability. Well, my friends at Legal Shield have created a solution that can help you not if, but when you need an attorney. For as little as $17 per month, Legal Shield will provide you unlimited access to qualified attorneys at an accomplished law firm for advice and counsel on legal issues, no matter how serious or trivial. For over 40 years and with 1.4 million families across North America, Legal Shield can help you, the loyal GCN listener. Representatives are standing by now to answer your questions, so call them now at 1-855-340-SAVE. That's 1-855-340-7283, or visit them at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com.
Results will vary from case to case.
Honey, it's time for dinner. What are you doing over there on your computer?
I'm shopping for a new wallet. Mine is falling apart. Hey, did you know there's a company called ID Stronghold that makes shielded wallets to prevent electronic pickpocketing?
Oh, I didn't realize there was such a thing as electronic pickpocketing. What is that?
Well, apparently, many of the new credit and debit cards being issued have radio chips inside them called RFID that transmit our banking information to card readers when we pay. Unfortunately, a bad guy can also get one of these readers and go around the city scanning people, collecting their credit card numbers and personal information without us knowing it.
Wow, that sounds scary. Since you're getting a new wallet anyway, you should definitely get an ID Stronghold shielded wallet. Are they more expensive?
No. In fact, I can get a shielded leather wallet from IDStronghold.com for the same price or less than regular unshielded wallets from other stores.
Sounds great. My wallet isn't falling apart yet, but let me pick one out too. I want to be protected, and these wallets at IDStronghold.com look fantastic.
All loans subject to OnDeck score approval, must be in business at least 1 year to apply. Attention small business owners needing financing. Are you too busy running your business to deal with the slow lending process of your bank? Are you frustrated at the paperwork and delays just trying to get a decision? Then you need OnDeck, the A+ Better Business Bureau rated small business experts, where our simple application process takes as little as 10 minutes and funding could be available in just one business day. At OnDeck, we focus on your business operation and cash flow, not just your personal credit score. And we're ready to help with loans of up to $250,000. True business loans, not credit card advances. OnDeck provides financing to a wide variety of small businesses like restaurants, plumbing, landscaping, freight trucking, and healthcare providers. If you're frustrated with the paperwork and long decision times of traditional lenders, contact OnDeck. Funding could be available in just one business day. OnDeck is publicly listed on the New York Stock Exchange and has provided over $2 billion to small businesses like yours. So go to OnDeckLending.com today or call 800-293-6819. That's 800-293-6819.
In the U.S. alone, a home invasion occurs every 13 seconds. On top of that, the average response time for 911 is over 15 minutes. That just won't cut it. Don't allow yourself or the important people in your life to be victims. When seconds matter, don't be caught stumbling for your firearm. Get the protection you deserve. Get yourself a hidden holster from hiddenholster.com. It's the original hidden holster. The hidden holster is quick, easy, and convenient. It's versatile enough for the home, workplace, or virtually anywhere else you might need it. Have peace of mind with your firearm close by at all times. Go to hiddenholster.com. That's hiddenholster.com. If you own a firearm, you need a hidden holster. Your protection matters, and self-defense is the best defense. Go to hiddenholster.com. That's hiddenholster.com. The original hidden holster.
Class, we're talking about sleeping better, and the electromagnetic radiation all around us is a serious problem. There's no question about it. Microwave ovens in our kitchens, the compressor motors in our refrigerators and freezers, the electronic telephones, the wireless telephones, the cell phones, the clocks that you see on your appliances, your microwave ovens, even the bread makers with these digital electronic clocks all have electromagnetic radiation and electronic radiation. So we need to minimize that. So Larry, as an electrical engineer, if you have an outlet, let's say there's an outlet in a room, and let's make it really simple. One outlet in a room, let's say it's a bedroom, and that outlet is connected directly to the breaker box. So there's no other outlets connected to this particular circuit from the breaker box. So circuit breaker number 5 goes to the bedroom, and we switch off that circuit number 5. Now we know that we've eliminated the electromagnetic radiation and from that particular circuit. Now here's the question. If there is no device consuming power or current on that outlet, that one outlet in that bedroom, is there any electromagnetic radiation from that circuit?
When it's still on, Vincent?
Yes, it's energized as if, so if you want to plug a device into it, a lamp, you can plug it in, throw the switch, and that lamp will light up. So the circuit is energized. There's only one outlet in that room. It goes all the way back to the breaker panel, breaker number 5.
Yeah, so I understand. So no, there will be no magnetic fields because there's no current flow, but there will be electric fields because the current is ready to flow because it's being pushed by that voltage I spoke about a segment ago. And that voltage creates those hairs coming off the wires, those electric fields, and the electric fields are still there, whether you're using the outlet or not. That's why you have to turn the breaker off.
Mm-hmm. There you go. So, Larry, if you were wiring a house or a cabin today, many of us want to get out of Dodge. Many of us want to buy a farm and build a farmhouse. So would you then suggest that if we're going to do something like that, we would have switches set up so that we could turn switches on or off that would send, so we can conveniently shut off the power to some of the rooms where we're sleeping?
That's an excellent idea. We call that a kill switch in the business, and you should have it in a convenient place. So maybe if you're sleepy in bed, you can reach up and turn it off. And then you would have all the outlets around the room turned off. There's some technical considerations, Vincent, about that because if you want to make sure that the wire going to the switch, which is going to remain live, isn't going to be creating electric fields which are hitting you in the bed. So you have to be kind of smart about where you locate it when turning it off.
Yeah, very, very good point. Larry,
Vincent, I got a few other things to say here. Number one, a lot of people have refrigerators on the other side of their bedroom wall, so they would also want, Larry calls it a kill switch. I've been known to call them demand switches, where you can also shut the electricity off from the breaker box with a demand switch to the refrigerator that might be on the other side of your bedroom. And a few other things I was going to name that people commonly have in the bedroom that are not good. One is cheap electric alarm clocks. They can emit magnetic fields to your head that would not be good. And also, you don't want to be charging anything in your bedroom while you sleep. That would be also not good. A lot of people have routers in their bedrooms near their head. I've seen this near teenagers' beds, and you got to get that out of there. Baby monitors are also very dangerous for babies. And of course, if any woman is pregnant, we don't want her exposed to any of this stuff. So get your bedroom environment as clean as possible. And I actually have a question for Larry. What if you live in an apartment complex?
Well, Katie, before I'll go to that in a second.
Yeah, okay.
You hit on something a minute ago. having a router or a baby monitor in an area where there's a human being produces the fields from those things. This is the radio frequency fields that they're emitting, are so strong. I mean, I can't emphasize how these are just huge. It's just so far up the health effects chart that it makes me shudder. I mean,
that would include decked cordless telephones.
That's right, decked cordless phones, wireless baby monitors, wireless internet connections, or Wi-Fi as they call their wireless routers, as they're also called.
It's kind of like having your own private cell tower in your bedroom.
Exactly. So, as regards to living in an apartment building, this is definitely problematic because it's difficult to control what your neighbors are doing, and you could have 4 of them, either side of you and above and below you. And the energies we're speaking about, these RF energies that Katie was just mentioning from those devices, they go right through walls because that's what they need to do, because people want to be using devices, all over the apartment, and they could probably even use them outside in the front lawn because it goes right through the wall. I don't know what to tell you, Katie. Educating your neighbors and getting them to cooperate with you might be one potential way of doing it. I think Vincent mentioned one time about asking them to move their device away from the wall that's next to your apartment and toward the other side of their
Yeah.
And of course, if you really are sensitized, there are shielding materials you can get that you could apply to the walls on either side of you, the ceiling above you. The floor is more difficult because it's typically carpeted and you have to put something underneath it. So, but that, it could be done.
And I want to say that shielding needs somebody like you to help with that, because you can intensify your exposure by shielding and not knowing that there's a source of radiation coming from some area you didn't know about. You need a lot of meters with you to test that you're doing shielding correctly.
Exactly. So, the apartment situation is addressable, but it's a more difficult situation, especially if you're thinking about spending money on a piece of property you don't own to make it better. And that's a challenge.
I just found a post on the internet during the commercial break, and it says that guests can turn off Wi-Fi at this luxury hotel in Germany. Now, the article is really lacking in terms of specifics of what they've done, but it says there's a kill switch. So the guest can hit the kill switch to block Wi-Fi within the walls. However, they also have what they're calling a special coating on the hotel room walls that claims to block 96% of this electromagnetic radiation. And they allude to the fact that they've used copper. Now, many years ago when I built this house, farmhouse, 10 years ago, I bought some copper dust on eBay. It's the consistency of flour, and I mixed it with the primer. I know where all the wires are in this house because I wired the house with our son. So we designed it and we standardized the height of the wiring and where the switches are and all that. And I painted the walls with copper dust. And, I believe that I've reflected inward into the walls on both sides of the studs. So we have sheetrock we have studded walls with sheetrock on both sides of the studs. And I've painted the the walls with this copper dust mixed with the primer. Now, I believe that has an effect, and I've measured it, and it's true. It works. But, let's get your reaction to that, Larry.
Well, metal reflects radio frequency fields, and so yes, it will be just fine. Also, there are there are commercial products available now. They have nickel in them. Some have copper in them, and there are other products available that have crystalline carbon in them. And once you put them on the wall, they will reflect RF. And as somebody, I think Katie mentioned, it'll do it both ways. It keeps it out, but if you've got something in that room, it keeps the RF from getting out, and it reflects it back into the room, making the situation in the room slightly worse than it would have been without the paint.
Yeah, that means if you've got Wi-Fi in the room, or if you're using a cell phone in the room, you're in a metal box, and all that radiation is going to bounce around along the metal wall. And
something else.
Yeah, so those.
I'm going to say the other thing to note is that with your cell phone, when the when you have a very weak incoming signal, the output of the cell phone, the amount of power it's putting out, goes up in order to reach that tower. So when you use your cell phone in a location that's got poor reception, it's going to be putting out maximum power, and your exposure is even higher under those conditions.
Larry, I have a tri-field meter, and I measured electromagnetic radiation, in the walls as we were just discussing a moment ago. And what I found out is, as I put in about 5 sub-panels, because I wanted to minimize the voltage loss in our farmhouse. So I have these sub-panels that run a heavy cable, that's a shielded cable, believe it or not, to the main breaker panel. What I found out was that even though I used metal connectors for the cable, for the Romex cable, I found out that the electromagnetic radiation around these entire metal breaker panel boxes there's an enormous amount of electromagnetic radiation, within a few feet of that.
Yeah,
and I believe
Vincent, that's magnetic field radiation.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. Electromagnetic radiation. And I believe that's because the wires were separated. The black wire from the white wire from the copper ground. When we separate them, we seem to have more electromagnetic radiation than when those wires are parallel. Is that correct?
That's right. And that's exactly why the power panels have such high fields. And there are, when we're advising people how to construct houses, we buy power panels that are configured on the inside so we can keep all these wires together as long as possible before they separate to go to their breaker. And that reduces the field of the box.
Right. Now, as a retrofit, can we talk about that as a retrofit, maybe twist the wires together?
Exactly.
That we have.
Exactly.
Let's talk about that when we come back. Larry Gust is with us. Katie Singer. I'm Vin Finelli.
Friends, this is Alex Jones for MidasResources.com. For more than 15 years, I have exclusively used Midas Resources for all my precious metal needs. Whether it's bullion or collectibles you're looking for, Midas Resources is simply the best. I own my gold as a hedge against inflation. This Federal Reserve fiat currency could go the way of the Deutschmark and the Weimar Republic anytime. In these historically dangerous times, it makes sense to physically hold gold and silver. Midas already has some of the best deals in the industry. But if you give them a call and mention the radio special, they will give you a list of the day's super specials. Midas brokers are standing by to answer all your questions at 800-686-2237. They also have a lot of informative free literature explaining the opportunities and risk of holding precious metals. They are ready to answer your questions at 800-686-2237. Again, that's 800-686-2237.
How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Ouch! My back is out again.
Hi, Dr. Wortman with Wellspring Spinal Care. If you're experiencing neck, mid, or lower back pain, this information is for you. One of the complaints that I hear is patients receive their typical adjustment, only having to repeat them as the pain returns. Putting the bones back in place is only half of the battle. At Wellspring Spinal Care, we have the entire solution. We use the NUCA approach, utilizing three-dimensional x-rays and gentle touch technology to deliver specific correction. We then design design a custom nutritional supplement program which provides essential nutrients targeting the areas of concern. With a NUCA approach and proper nutrition, you'll be on your way to a faster and more permanent recovery. To get you on the road to wellness, visit drortman.com. That's drortman.com, or call us today, 952-303-9124. That's 952-303-9124. Wellspring Spinal Care, chiropractic done right.
Honey, it's time for dinner. What are you doing over there on your computer?
I'm shopping for a new wallet. Mine is falling apart. Hey, did you know there's a company called ID Stronghold that makes shielded wallets to prevent electronic pickpocketing?
Oh, I didn't realize there was such a thing as electronic pickpocketing. What is that?
Well, apparently, many of the new credit and debit cards being issued have radio chips inside them called RFID that transmit our banking information to card readers when we pay. Unfortunately, a bad guy can also get one of these readers and go around the city scanning people, collecting their credit card numbers and personal information without us knowing it.
Wow, that sounds scary. Since you're getting a new wallet anyway, you should definitely get an ID Stronghold shielded wallet. Are they more expensive?
No. In fact, I can get a shielded leather wallet from idstronghold.com for the same price or less than regular unshielded wallets from other stores.
Sounds great. My wallet isn't falling apart yet, but let me pick one out too. I want to be protected, and these wallets at idstronghold.com look fantastic.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today. Class, if you're going to be in Springfield, Missouri for the RK Prepper Show, that's Saturday and Sunday, and you happen to stick around on Monday, please consider joining us at the meetup. Meetup at Jimmy's Egg, Monday, 4:45 to about 8 p.m. This Monday, I'm going to be on stage, and I'll be talking about how to recharge your automobile air conditioning system. I'm going to demonstrate how to do it right in the parking lot. So I'll be able to answer your questions, and we'll have those of you who have done it, we'll talk about how to do it. We'll show you how to do it. And there's a great way that you can use propane and butane, if you want, instead of the typical refrigerants. So you can get cooler air conditioning, lower cost, bigger molecules, less leakage. Works great. I'm going to show you how to do that Monday at Jimmy's Egg. And if you're in town and for Saturday and Sunday and you want to have a great meal, Jimmy's Egg on Battlefield, our hangout. It's our meetup hangout every Monday. So they're serving breakfast through the weekend, as usual. Larry Gust is with us, electrical engineer, and Katie Singer. We're talking about electromagnetic radiation, electronic radiation, and we're talking about problems. And so can we twist the wires? Can we open the breaker panel and twist those wires, the blacks and the whites, from the same pair and reduce the electromagnetic radiation that comes from our breaker panel, Larry?
Yes, we can do that, Vincent. And I'd also like to mention that the incoming power supply wires, the big fat ones, typically the electricians take those and they bring them in the panel and they divide them up. One goes down one side, one goes down the other side, and that, of course, is going to create big fields because you have big current flows on that fat wire bringing the power into that box. So if there's a way to get those back together, it will help.
I have a question, Larry.
Yes.
I'm thinking of Carl Riley's book, Tracing
EM fields.
electromagnetic fields in building and wiring errors and grounding.
Yeah.
And also, doesn't he have a video that shows how to correct wiring?
He does. It's a video that was produced by California Edison, I believe, and it's couched in terms of office buildings where they have conduits and so forth. But the principles apply to the home as well, where we have Romex type wiring, or it's also called plastic jacketed wiring. So yes,
Could you send Vincent a link to that video so that Vincent could post it on usaprepares.com?
You know, I don't have a link to it. It's quite old, and I think it may have been like before the time. I mean, I have the video tape, or the DVD itself, which I could send Vincent, and maybe you could do something with that. Could you, Vincent?
Sure. I'm sure I'd be glad to. And I'll return it to you.
Good. We'll get your shipping information after the show, and I'll send it your way.
Okay. And Larry, here's a question. You know, a lot of us can't change our circumstances. We have apartments, we have houses that we bought, and it's sometimes difficult to move. Well, what about those round transformers that are on the power poles or the telephone poles? You look outside, and heck, they're 80 feet from a bedroom window. What do you do?
Well, 80 feet's good. Let's talk about that. That transformer, that can, we call that a point source because the magnetic fields are very concentrated and they're at one point. We have the same situation with the refrigerator motor, with the motor in your furnace, with the motor in your freezer, with the motor in your air conditioner. And that point source magnetic field decreases very rapidly. For instance, if you're 10 feet away from it, it's going to be the magnetic field is going to be reduced by 1,000 times. That's 10 times 10 times 10. So these drop off very rapidly, and it's easy to get protection from a point source magnetic field. And your 80-foot, distance is very protective. You're not going to be bothered by that transformer at that pace, at that place. I mean, that's a huge number. 512,000 times less at 80 feet.
Okay. Well, we need to do this again and again. There's more details that we can bring to the classroom on how to reduce the electromagnetic radiation and the fields that come off your wires in your homes, at work. And I'm concerned about it. I'm doing everything I can to minimize it. So I want to thank your instructors, Larry Gust, GustEnviro.com, Gust, G-U-S-T, Enviro.com, and Katie Singer, an electronic silent spray. Class, above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to you.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit and carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Ted Anderson, I'm placing a free silver dollar in a book that explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Anytime, any place, anywhere. Radio remains the most intimate of all forms of media. At home, at work, in the car, on smartphones. Over 90% of consumers still listen to radio every week. That makes choosing radio as a place to advertise your business one of the best decisions you can make. Email advertise@gcnlive.com and partner up with an experienced GCN representative. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Many are in disbelief today after word of shocking allegations against a Minnesota-based talk syndication company known as GCN. It's claimed that they're the fourth largest talk syndication company in the U.S., making it even more scandalous that they've been accused of helping business owners expose themselves on a massive scale. Let's go live to Tom for more on this story.
It's being called the greatest exposure of our lifetime, while other business owners are beginning to step forward claiming they too exposed themselves with the help of GCN.
It's true, they're all guilty, every last one of them. GCN helped me get the exposure my company needed, and just think, that was years ago. Today, GCN has like 700 affiliate stations and over 6 million downloads from iTunes and their website every month.
Imagine the exposure your company can get. Expose your business to the masses. Email advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective. GCN.